Hello and welcome to the fifth and last lecture of this section. Interestingly, this is also the last lecture of this course. And here we will learn about one of the hottest topic right now in the industry, and that is AWS Lambda. So what is AWS Lambda? AWS Lambda is one of Amazon's serverless compute platform. So serverless is right now a hot cake in the industry, and you must have heard about this term. Here's AWS Lambda's logo. So by serverless, it seems that it means absence of server, but this is a misnomer. Serverless doesn't mean absence of server. Serverless compute allows you to build and run applications and services without thinking about servers. Serverless don't require you to provision, scale and manage any server. What is AWS Lambda? AWS Lambda lets you run code without you provisioning or managing servers. So that's what serverless means. You pay only for the compute time you consume. There is no charge when your code is not running. With Lambda, you can run code for virtually any type of application or backend service, all with zero administration from your end. Just upload your code and Lambda takes care of everything required to run and scale your code with high availability. You can set up your code to automatically trigger from other AWS services or call it directly from any web or mobile app. Now let us see what are some of the benefits of Lambda. No server to manage. Yes, this is one of the major benefits of Lambda. Lambda automatically runs your code without requiring you to provision or manage servers. Just write the code and upload it to Lambda. So no need to worry about server capacity or RAM or CPU or anything of that sort. Continuous scaling. Lambda auto-scales your application by running code in response to each trigger. Your code runs in parallel and processes each trigger individually, scaling precisely with the size of the workload. So based on the size of your workload, based on your traffic, it will scale up or scale down. That is, it will grow or shrink based on your traffic. You don't need to worry about it at all. Sub-second metering. So Lambda is not about hourly, daily or monthly billing. It's about billing of 100 milliseconds, that is 0.1 second to be precise. With Lambda you are charged for every 0.1 second or 100 millisecond of your code that executes and the number of times your code is triggered. You don't pay anything when your code is not running. How Lambda works? So let us see. Upload your code to AWS Lambda. So this is the first criteria. You need to upload your code, then set up your code to trigger from other AWS services like S3 and HTTP endpoints or in-app activity. Lambda runs your code only when triggered, using only the compute resources needed. And then finally, pay just for the compute time you use. Lambda implementation, a real-world example. So here's a problem. How can you automatically start and stop your Amazon EC2 and Amazon RDS instances? That is, you want to schedule your dev or test server instance to run only during the business hour on weekdays. This might be a cost-saving strategy, that whenever you don't need your test server or development server, for example at night during office hours, then you must stop that. So if you want to do that, that, for example, at 9 a.m. your server should start and it should stop automatically at 6 p.m. That is, it should work only during office hours. So how can you go for this solution? How can you go for a solution which will start and stop your server based on a schedule? So let us see. We'll use AWS Lambda function that will check the instance and act to start or stop the instance. So it's not only Lambda function that will be required. We will require CloudWatch and DynamoDB. So CloudWatch will be required for triggering an event and DynamoDB for saving the schedule. So what happens here is an Amazon CloudWatch event triggers an AWS Lambda function that checks the current state of the instance which is tagged against the targeted state defined in the schedule from Amazon DB. Then the Lambda function applies start or stop based on the parameters which we have already defined. So this is a real world example of AWS Lambda implementation. Let us see some of the Lambda use cases. Web applications. So by combining Lambda with other AWS services, developers can build powerful web applications that auto scale up and down and run in highly available configuration across multiple data centers with zero administrative effort. Real-time file processing. You can use Lambda and Amazon Kinesis to process real-time streaming data for application activity tracking, transaction order processing, clickstream analysis, metrics generation, log filtering, and social media analysis. Extract, transform, load, that is ETL. You can use Lambda to perform data validation, filtering, sorting, or other transformations for every data change in DynamoDB table and load the transformed data to another data store. You can use Lambda as IoT backend, that is Internet of Things backend. It will support third-party API requests as well. Then you can use Lambda for mobile backend as well. It can help you in creating rich, personalized app experiences. Language runtime supported by Lambda. Let us see. Node.js, Java, Go, that is Golang. Sometimes we call Golang as well. It's a very popular language gaining traction nowadays. C# from Microsoft, and Python. Python is everywhere. And then Lambda is a advanced topic. So as this is a basic course, I think this was good enough to excite you to go ahead and explore it more. You can explore it at awsamazon.com/lambda. So thank you and congratulations. Now you have the required foundation to go ahead on your exciting and lucrative journey as an AWS engineer. All the best.